Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a recent decision that has been taken by the Canada which has been always the hotspot for the Indian students who are trying to go outside for higher education. Now it has made significant changes in its immigration policy that is going to significantly impact the chances of Indian student or any other foreign student to get permanent residency in Canada. Now, what are these changes and how it is going to impact students, especially students from India? Let us try to understand from this particular video. So, first of all, to give you a background about what are the changes that has been made. So, recently the country is mulling or thinking about removing the LMIA score. LMIA score stands for Labor Market Impact Assessment Score, which used to have a significant share in the CRS, that is the Comprehensive Ranking System, which is required for the express entry program in the Canada to get PR in a faster way. However, several consultants in India, especially we talk about from the Punjab region, they believe that though this decision seems we can say counterproductive for the Indian students, in the long term it is going to ultimately benefit the students. So what are the pros and cons of this particular changes? Let us try to look at those also. But before that, if we try to understand that what is LMIA, or basically if we talk about LMIA, so it is a kind of document, and this document, if a student is able to get it, it proves that the employer could not find a Canadian worker for a job, and that is why he had to hire a foreign worker. Now, what does basically mean? It means that there is a shortage of a domestic worker in a particular sector, and that is why there is a requirement for the foreign worker. Now, obviously, this will work as a kind of positive in the context of the Indian students who are working there, because they will be considered as a vital asset for the economic growth of the Canada. Currently, having a job offer supported by an LMIA adds 50 points, which is a very significant and high score as far as the applicant's CRS score is concerned. And it significantly boosts the chances of students in securing PR, that is the permanent residency of Canada. Now, if we try to briefly understand how does this entire system work. Now, first of all, international student, particularly from India, they have recently resorted in large number to use the LMIA route to increase their points for the permanent residency. Now, this is because of the changes that were made earlier by the Canadian immigration system, where they were trying to put a cap on the total number of international students who might be admitted to the Canadian universities. So, the express entry system then allows such interested applicants to furnish their information, following which the Canadian authorities basically hold a draw. Draw is a kind of lottery system from where out of the entire applicant, some names are chosen who can be granted the permission to have a PR in the Canada. And that is how the selection of candidates happen. Now, selected candidates then, once they are selected by the lottery system through the draw, they receive an ITA, that is the invitation to apply. Now, this invitation to apply does not automatically guarantees that you will get a PR. It is just application. Upon the scrutiny of this application, when a student had to file a detailed and complete information about their permanent residency, furnishing all the relevant documentary evidences and proof, then the final or ultimate decision is taken by the Canadian immigration authorities. Now, the question comes that if LMIA system was something that was working in the benefit of both the students as well as the Canadian government, why the government is trying to remove these points? The answer can be understood from the fact that the government authorities have recently found that LMIA backed job offers have become a target for fraud. If you remember, I told you that LMIA is a document. If you get this document, it will add 50 points to your CRS score. Now, many students and the many people who are residing in Canada, even though they are not someone who cannot be replaced by the domestic workers, they have been giving thousands and thousands of dollars, even in some cases $60,000 to $70,000 have been given just to acquire these fake offers or fake LMIA documents, giving certain candidates an unfair advantage. And in this context, the government hopes that if they remove the LMIA points from the overall calculation of CRS score, it will curb both the misuse of the system as well as the fraudulent job offers, and thus it will also protect such applicants who are having a genuine classification. Also, experts believe that concerns about housing shortage in the Canada and the infrastructure strain due to uncontrolled migration has resulted in prompting the government to reassess its immigration policies. Now, if we try to understand that what does this mean for the students, especially for the Indian students who till now were relying on the LMIA backed job offers, now they obviously need to explore what? Some alternative routes. And without these points as an incentive, even the students might face difficulty in getting a job in the local Canadian agencies, institutions, as well as Canadian businesses, because it will become difficult, or it will not have any kind of advantage for the employer to hire such foreign workers. Students would have to invest in improving other factors, because if you talk about the CRS, that is a comprehensive score, it does not only have LMIA point. LMIA point is just one of the component. So other components such as the certifications that students have from the local universities, institutions, or higher scores on the language tests such as IELTS, these can also improve the scores on the CRS and can boost the chances of getting the PR for students. Now, also if you talk about such students who are intelligent, who are asset to the local Canadian economy and were financially weaker, now they will not have to compete with the candidates using fraudulent LMIA backed job offers. So for students who are actually we can say more eligible and more intelligent, but due to the financial strain could not compete with those students, now they will have the fair chance to get PR as well. So this basically levels the playing field and emphasizes genuine qualifications like education, work experiences, and language skills as a main parameter on which the PR evaluation can be done by the Canadian immigration. Now, how to adapt? That is the first thing. So first of all, students should retake language tests like IELTS or CEL PIP, that is Canadian English Language Proficiency Inspection Program, and to achieve the maximum possible score to enhance their CRS ranking. Second, students should prioritize gaining Canadian work experience and securing jobs through the PGWP, that is Postgraduate Work Permit, which remains a valuable asset for the PR applications. Third, potential removal of LMI points might seem challenging, but it's also an opportunity to showcase your strength. That is what at least the what you can call as the immigration agencies have been putting forward. And with careful planning and strategy, one can navigate these changes and successfully achieve their dream of becoming a permanent resident in Canada. So obviously this is one of the setbacks, but we cannot say that it will completely what you can call as a disrupt the PR system, how it used to work for the students earlier. Obviously, one of the component or one of the what we can call as incentive that were provided to students earlier by the LMIA, now that is not available, but there are other routes available as well. Not only that, in the case of Canada, there are provinces also, separate provinces, different provinces, they have different kind of requirement, job requirements, they have different kind of vacancies. So such programs are called as provincial nominee programs that could also be taken advantage of by the Indian students living in Canada. For example, you talk about provinces such as Ontario, British Columbia and Alberta. They have several policies to support students who are having background in the education from the Canadian universities, local universities, as well as are having relevant work experiences in their field of expertise or study. Fields especially we talk about where there is a high demand of the foreign workers are healthcare, technology, transportation and the construction. So if someone is having degree or skills in any of these sectors, obviously their chances of getting PR will improve even if the LMIA system is not applicable. So the many experts have recommended that students should explore provincial or federal programs and should target those industries and stay informed about policy changes instead of relying solely on others for the guidance. So basically, again, in conclusion, we can say that obviously this is a recent changes that has happened will disrupt the overall, will basically we can say will change the overall way how the immigration system used to work. But also there are many other possibilities that the students can take to navigate through the current challenges. Now, if we take a look at the mains based question that can be asked from this particular topic, so we know that in the GS2 paper, you have a topic that is called as Indian diaspora. So the question can be framed like this: Indian students make up one of the largest section of Indian diaspora in Canada. That is a statement. And in this context, critically examine the challenges faced by them due to the recent changes in the Canadian immigration policy. So in the first part, you have to obviously explain and basically give data to validate the statement, and in the next context you have to briefly describe the same things that we have been talking about in this particular video. So that is all for this particular video. I hope you understood overall what are the recent changes and its impact on the Indian students from the Canadian Immigration Agency. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such helpful content. Thank you very much.